Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tulufelo. I struggle with that, but I'm gonna fix it, okay? I'm gonna fix it and we're gonna find a name that I'm comfortable with saying out loud. And then when I get to that, I hope you guys are gonna address me accordingly. Anyway, the last video I did was YouTube says a year ago, but it was actually 2 years ago. It was 2022. Yes, not the exact month, but you get my point. Hey, where have I been? Yo, I've been around. I've been doing some soul searching. I've been doing some growing, some developing, involuntarily, by the way. But anyway, I'm here now. I'm back with consistency. Speaking this into the universe also, by the way. The last video I did, I spoke about my experiences and after birth, what happened to me after birth physically. I'm not sure if I touched on the emotional part, but on that video I had said I'll tell you my birthing story. So I'm gonna start with my birthing story of Tiamo. Tiamo is my son. My son is currently 8, turning 9 in May, so literally a month from now. Yes, literally, because today is the 20th, so literally a month and a day from now. Today is the 20th of April. Tiamo was born on the 21st of May, on the 21st of May. So literally a month from now, my 8-year-old turns 9, and in a year I'm gonna have a 10-year-old. I don't know how I did it. It just happened. That's also something that's going to need a lot of work also, by the way. But anyway, so I'm going to jump straight into it, right? So when I had Tiamo, when I conceived Tiamo, I was in varsity. I was doing my second year. And then when I had to give birth to Tiamo, it had to be in May, and then in June I was starting my exams. So I went home. I was home when I was 9 months, or when I was 7 months, somewhere there, 7 or 8 months, I moved back home because I was preparing for the birth of the baby. So I went back home. Goma Wabane. I lived there until the baby was born. So what happened on the 20th is, so what I had to do was, Tiamo was overdue, actually. I think Tiamo was overdue, I think by 2 or 3 weeks, something like that. And then, so Tiamo was conceived in August. So let's see, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, so he was like overdue by. So now I went back home because it was closer to the date when I had to go to give birth. Then I would go see the gynecologist. They'd check on me and say, okay, so your baby is supposed to be here. However, they're not here yet. So you're going to wait. Are you going to wait for a closer date? Are you going to wait for the baby to come on the day that the baby's going to come? Or do you want to like move it now because the baby's fine? We can take the baby out anytime. And then I had to look at my calendar because I was writing exams, June exams in varsity. So I was like, okay, I need to give birth and heal before I go back to, sorry, there's something in my eye. I need to give birth and also have somewhat enough time to heal so that I can go write my exams. Cool. I then told my doctor, let's give it a week. If the baby's not here in a week, then we would have to induce labor so that I can give birth and have enough time for me to be healed enough to travel to write. Because I was in Pretoria, I had to go to Joburg South, Soweto. I was at UJ Soweto campus. I had to travel between there on a day when I was writing my exam. So I was like, I need to heal, I need to give birth, then have enough time to heal so that I can travel. Okay, the doctor said that's fine. You need to choose a date from that week, so that's the 3rd week. Okay, we agreed. I go back home. Hi, Giddy 20. It's the 20th of the month. It's 4 a.m. 4 a.m. I can't say 5-ish, but 4 a.m. I have this back pain. I was sleeping with my sister and I was just moaning. I was just moaning, and she got scared. All right, it was quite a scare for her. So then she went and called my mom and said, "Hey, Mogele, actually, Aussie is mourning now. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what to do." Fine. So I'm there, I'm mourning. Because you read the books, and then the books tell you your contractions should be between so and so. Once they're happening, you need to time them and see how long they are apart. Also, how intense are they? But it's your first time. You don't know what is intense and what is fairly normal, right? I had, like, here, my lower back was on fire. My lower back was on fire, and it was like the baby wanted to come out from here, right? And Tama was big. Like, my tummy was big. My tummy was big. Okay, it was big, and I was just a girl. I was just a girl. I was a child, right? So I'm there on my bed moaning. Also, when you're pregnant, they don't advise you to lie on your back. Mostly you should lie on your side because of the umbilical cord. Yeah, something about the umbilical cord. So I'm there, I'm mourning, and then I think I was home for like, I'd say between an hour, right? So in an hour, I think we had already left. So now, Gogi tells my mom, my sister tells my mom, "Hey, this person is in pain. She's starting to mourn. What are we gonna do?" Okay, my mom comes quickly, and she's like, "Okay, let's freshen up, and then we're gonna go to the hospital now." Fine. I'm in the bathroom there. I'm freshening up, and then my water breaks. I'm like, my water, bro. And then it's like, okay, now it is an emergency. Let's go. Fine. I put on some dress, get into the car. I had already packed my bag because I was home. Get into the car. Now my water breaks. I'm like, it's okay. It was just water, right? It was just water. Nothing hectic. No blood. No funny things. Just water. My water broke. Fine. I drive with my mom. I go to the hospital. I get there. Did they give me a wheelchair? I think they gave me a wheelchair. I don't know if I sat down. I think I walked. I don't remember. Got on the wheelchair. They pushed me to the ward. And then when we got there, they put me on a bed. And then they put me that thing that checks the child's heartbeat. And then you'd see it there going, go, go. But that thing was very tight. I don't know why they do that, but it was very tight on me. And then I think it also shows when your contractions come, so the nurses can monitor it. And then they put me on the bed. Guys, when I tell you, I was in excruciating pain. Mind you, I didn't want a C-section, right? I didn't want a C-section. But the child was big, guys. Like, I think, yeah, I was ambitious. The child was big. Now they check me. They put, oh guys, labor is painful. Labor is like, it's like period pains, ne? And then whilst you have period pains, think about, you have a stomach bug, right? Or food poisoning. Have you ever had food poisoning? You know how painful your tummy gets when you have food poisoning? So that pain, plus back pain near the piroto, plus your abdominal pain near the piroto, you can't even breathe properly. Also, you can't eat or drink anything because you might go to theater, right? So like, you can't eat or drink. I'm hungry. I'm dizzy. I am in pain. I am vomiting. I think my mom brought me a yogurt or something. you know. I remember asking my mom, how did you do this 5 times or 4 times? 4 times. Well, 3 times, because the twins were conceived by C-section. I don't think she went into labor. If she did, she's a brave woman. But I was like, how do you go through this more than once? Tell me how. How did you do it? How did you tell me now? Right? And then she was like, well, my pains were not like yours, my sister. From looking at you and your experience, I don't think our pains are the same. I'm like, that makes sense. I was like, I'm never doing this again. You don't even have energy to talk, guys. You don't have energy to talk. I'm like, I am never gonna do this again. And then I told him, the pain is excruciating. I cannot take it. I cannot take the pain, right? And then, so the child wouldn't dilate. I wasn't dilating. It was just, I was always at 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters, 2 centimeters. I think I ended at 6 centimeters. I was in labor from 4 o'clock in the morning until 6 p.m. at night. And mind you, the whole day they've been trying to convince me to do a C-section. And I was like, no, I'm going to have this baby naturally. I don't want a C-section unless it's a matter of life and death. I'm not having a C-section. How, after 12 hours, I was like, okay, it's fine. It is okay. They gave me painkillers. It didn't work. It did not work. Fine. Now they're wheeling me out to labor. Get to labor. Sorry, I get to the theater. They're wheeling me to theater. I get to theater on the bed. You know, you're lying on the bed and then they push that bed. I wasn't on a wheelchair, but that bed, you also wheel it. So you push it, it has wheels. I get to the theater room, and then there's a pediatrician there, and then there's an anesthetic, so an anesthetician, and then there's a gynecologist, and then there's other nurses around, right? So the anesthetician gave me an epidural. So that's the injection that they give you to kill your lower body, right? So they're gonna kill your nerves from the waist down, and then your upper body is still functioning. You can still function. Your lower body is not functioning because they're gonna cut you. Trigger warning. They're gonna cut you open so you don't feel that pain. So your lower body is literally numb. Fine. She comes, and then she tells me, you're gonna feel a bit of a spike in your back. I'm gonna push it in, and then I'm gonna release it into your body, and then you're gonna lie back down. So for now, I'm gonna need you to lie straight. So they explain to you what it's for. Tells you to numb your body. You're gonna be functioning. You're gonna be able to see, hear, feel everything, but your lower body is not going to be functioning. I turn around, I pray, I do deep breath, and then they put it in. It's like icy, like literally, you can feel your body ice. You can literally feel your body. That's how present I was. I could literally feel my body icing. Now that is done, and then they put something else in your drip, and then now your body's dead, and then you lie down, and then they're busy there. But I don't know why my mom didn't take a video, but anyway, and then they're busy there. They take the baby. It doesn't take long, hey? It does not take long. Take the baby out. The baby cries. They show you the baby. Oh, it's a boy. And the baby cries. They clean the baby up. Then they return the baby to you while they're still busy closing you up. While they're busy closing you up, they give you your baby. Your baby lies on your chest for a while. Then they take the baby. They do some tests on them to check, do they have this, do they have that, jaundice, and no, the child doesn't have. Right. Then they wheel you out. I think you die after that, actually. So when my son came out, when Tiamo came out, he had so much hair. He was so light. Then we came out, I literally saw his grandmother, like his mother's father. I was like, dang, that child looked like my husband's mother. Like literally, that child looked like his father's mother. Fine. And then they roll you back to your room, to the labor ward. And then I don't know, did I wake up the same day? I don't think so. I think I woke up the next day, because that's when Tiamo's father came to see him also. So I woke up that day. And then here's another tricky thing that they don't tell you, that latching, like the child latching onto your nipple, does not come naturally. It does for most people, I guess, but for me it didn't. So that was very frustrating. And the fact that they don't tell you that you're gonna have milk immediately, that is also very frustrating. So in as much as I did pull my nipples out to try and, like, maybe I did it for like 2 weeks before labor, Tiamo couldn't latch. He couldn't latch onto my nipple. So my nipple was a bit flat for him to be able to latch on. And breastfeeding doesn't come as naturally as one would think. Like, put the child there, latch, milk comes out, everything slow. No. So there was a bit of a depressing moment for me, because I was like, I'm supposed to know how to do this, but I couldn't. So they gave him milk for like maybe 2 days. And then on the 3rd day, I think I had milk, and the milk was, so he would cry obviously because he was hungry. So then they just ended up giving him bottled milk. And then after a while, I was able to breastfeed and he could latch. And then I also bought a breast pump, so that really helped with sucking the nipple out so that he can latch on my nipple. So that helped a lot. I stayed at the hospital, I think, for 4 days. So day 1, after theater, because I went to theater at night, right, about 6 p.m., 7 p.m. The next day, the people from Home Affairs came to register his birth. Luckily, I already had names for him. We wrote there. His father wasn't present, so he wasn't on the birth certificate. Registered his birth certificate. I could eat that day. Could eat after labor the next day, right? So now, first day, they come check you if your wound is getting better. You're not swollen, you're not bleeding, nothing, anything like that. Do you have any pain? Are you in pain anywhere? The only thing I had after the epidural wore off was a painful headache. I was in a lot of abdominal pain, right? My head was just so heavy, and I was just hungry, right? Those are the things I experienced after labor. Once the epidural wore off, my abdomen was painful. Like, my C-section was painful. Not as painful as the second one though. Not as painful as Tato's though. Fine. And then what else can I say I experienced after? So you won't be able to walk without any assistance on the first day, I think, and the second day. So the second day, then there is a physiotherapist that comes to visit you so that they can help you to navigate, right? So they will help you to get out of bed, and then you will walk for a while so that you can start being mobile. So they help you with the mobility of your lower body, because remember, it was dead. So now that the epidural is out of your body, you need to learn how to move your body again. Also, being mobile without hurting your C-section. That was really, really tough. But I had a very nice physiotherapist. We would go for a walk, then come back. Also, the walking, you're a bit bended because you can't stand up straight yet, because it's still painful and it's heavy. And there's bandages there. So you still bend a bit, and then you walk slowly, but you're also you're not bathing, right? For these, I think 3 days, you're not bathing until the stitching is closed, like tightly closed. Also, I feel like bathing would make you move vigorously, and they don't want that. So no bathing, you just go and you freshen up. You don't go in the water, no shower. Another thing they told me after giving birth, they were like, because of your C-section, you can't bofa. You can't bofa for 3 months. 3-4 months, don't bofa. I was just like, whatever. Anyway, so the physiotherapist comes, helps you with your mobility, and then the 4th day you should be fine. Also advise you not to carry anything heavier than your baby. My baby was heavy, so the only heavy thing you can carry is your child. My mom came on the 4th day to take me back. We went back, they give you painkillers and anything else that you might need, any medication that you might need, and I was out of there. So my labor pain, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. That was the most painful thing I've ever had to experience in my entire life till today. Tiamo's labor, the only labor I will ever go through. I am not doing another labor. Hear me good, hear me well. I'm not going into labor ever again in my life. Right. So that was my first experience of birth giving via C-section. I went to Legae private clinic there, Komrela View, and I was happy with the treatment and the goodie bag that they give you. So what is it? Is it Mediclinic? Mediclinic is greater. Which one is greater? Mediclinic is greater than Netcare, because the goodie bag they gave me, it had wipes, it had bum cream, it had aquas cream, it had Vaseline, it had nipple cream, Bennett's, ne? It had what is it? It had nipple cream. It had, I think it had shampoos. It had cotton wool. It had those earbud things, and it had like a small nappy pack. And the bag was also really, I think we still have it. The bag was also nice as well. And then Netcare. Wow, Netcare gave us samples. Netcare, I got a bag. Did I get wipes? I think I got wipes. I don't even remember, but it was just underwhelming. Anyway, this is it for today. My birthing story with my first child, Tiamo. Yeah, the experience from the hospital, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And then the pain was 10 out of 10. My C-section healing, I'm gonna tell you now that my C-section after Tiamo was so much better. I don't know whether it was because it was in winter also, because I think in 3 weeks I was fine, right? It was still painful, yes, but I was fine. Like, I was not in excruciating pain. And then I used to take a taxi from home to town. No, from... How did I travel, guys? I took a taxi from home to town, then to the Gautrain, right? And then get on the Gautrain to Park Station. And then from Park Station I used to walk to Bree, so that I can get a taxi that takes me straight to Pimville. That's how I traveled every day for 4 days, maybe once a week, because I think our tests were like once a week. I think only one time was it twice a week that I had to do that. 4 modules, I was done. I passed. Guys, I was struggling with auditing there. I studied for auditing the night before I went to write, because why? On that day, on that Sunday, my husband's family came to see their child, and I was thinking I'm writing on Tuesday. Can't they know I'm writing on Monday? I had to cross night that night after them coming to see the baby, and I passed very well, more than all those other times when I was relaxed. And I was just like, God is good. God is good all the time, all the time. Good is good. That was the only exam that I was literally shaking about. Hurry, I'm gonna fail this module. That time, get a June exam. If I fail it, I can only do it next year. First time happy. So thank God that didn't happen. And that's about it with regards to my first birth story. My C-section healed very well. I was not in excruciating pain after the 3rd week. And then obviously you go for checkups, right, after 6 weeks, and then after 3 months, and if you're good, you're good. Overall wholesome experience. If I had a choice to do it again, would I do it? No. If I had a choice to ever do it again, I would not do it. I would not have a child. I would not get pregnant. I would not give birth. I would not go into labor. I said what I said. I love you all so much. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I am going to be very intentional about this now. So thank you so much for all your love and support. If you want to leave any comments, please do leave your comments down below. If you're a new mommy, you're going to be okay, my sweetie, okay? Do as much research as you can. Please massage your breasts so that your nipples can come out, so that the baby will be able to latch. Ask your mom, ask your sister, ask your aunt, ask your gogo what to do in order to have enough milk supply. If you don't have enough milk supply, that is also okay. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. The baby will grow just fine on formula. It is a bit pricey though, but the baby will just fine. I don't want you to feel inadequate because you cannot breastfeed your baby. I will not lie, it is an absolutely beautiful experience to have. Nothing compares to being able to feed your baby. However, if you're unable to feed your baby your own milk, you can feed your baby other milk. So even if you don't have, or you don't produce enough milk, you're still going to have that bond with your child, because you're going to be the one holding them and feeding them. So it's not going to change the connection anyway. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I don't know when I'm going to post this, but the weekend that is coming after I post it, I hope you enjoy your weekend and love on yourself during this mommy journey. Absolutely love on yourself. It will have also good benefits for the baby. Love on yourself, do things that you like, eat the food that makes you happy if your baby allows. Eat food that you love if your baby allows. Allow yourself to embrace this journey. If you are a working out mom, please, by all means, don't stop. But obviously you'd have to speak to your doctor or your gynae if you're in a position to exercise while you're pregnant. I honestly wish I never stopped exercising after I found out I was pregnant. I should have continued. I think I would have recovered better had I not stopped exercising, even if it was just to go to gym and then do some squats, walk on the treadmill, do some core exercises, do some back exercises, some hand exercises, move a lot more than what I did, because I didn't move a lot when I was pregnant. I think the recovery would have been so much better after birth, and I think I would have not gained a lot while I was pregnant. So if you're pregnant, please love yourself, take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself, because somebody's coming into your life and that person is going to take up all of your time. I'm out. They're going to take up all of your time, and then you don't know yourself for a while. You need to find yourself again, get back into a routine, and before you know it, it's been a year or 2 years of you not doing things you like. So please love on yourself, take care of yourself, surround yourself with people that love you and appreciate you, surround yourself with people that leave you in high spirits, and if this was an unplanned pregnancy, I want to promise you that you're going to be okay. You are going to be okay. Just embrace the journey, have the baby, plan around the baby, still continue with your life. This is not the end of the world. I know it may feel like it, but it's really, 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 really not the end of the world. Plan from now. Here you are. Just tell yourself, okay, I had the baby, or I'm pregnant and I'm having the baby. Once I've had this baby, what am I going to do whilst you're pregnant? Get out of the rut that you're in. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Okay, you can, but then get out of it, please. Once you're done with the sulking and the crying, get out of this state and get into a state of, okay, it is done. We don't cry over spilled milk. And then figure out the next steps. What am I, after this baby is born, what am I going to do? This go back. Even if your plan changes, great, even better, right? Because we don't have to go with the original plan that we had. If the plan changes, great, you're allowed to pivot. The plan has changed. Now this is what I'm going to do. Now this is what I'm going to do. See how the baby features in that. What am I going to do with this baby? Who's the baby's going to stay with? No. You see? Small. How do you eat an elephant? Bit by bit. Bite by bite. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you next time.